Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, October 11th, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. The American presidential election is 4 weeks from today. Early voting has already begun. Some 450,000 Americans apparently have already cast their ballots. The island of Bermuda is paying special attention as Tropical Storm Nicole continues its northward path. At about 8 a.m. this morning, Nicole was about 365 miles south-southwest of Bermuda with sustained winds of about 60 miles per hour. It's moving at about 5 miles per hour. It's expected to turn a bit toward the north and increase in speed tonight and begin to make a dead-on approach to Bermuda when it's going to get near there sometime Wednesday night or Thursday morning. It's expected to become a hurricane later tonight or tomorrow. Tropical storm warning and a hurricane watch have been issued for Bermuda. So hurricane conditions are possible on Bermuda by tomorrow night. So the island is monitoring this pretty closely. Meanwhile, one area that has already been hit by a storm are the Carolinas, specifically North Carolina, which was inundated by rain produced by Hurricane Matthew. The rain has caused massive flooding and resulted in dozens of deaths in North Carolina. The rain ended on Sunday and it should remain dry for the foreseeable future, but the rivers are still rising. The flooding rivals that of Hurricane Floyd back in 1999. Some 18.5 inches of rain were dumped near Elizabethtown, and about 14.8 inches of rain were dumped in Fayetteville. The following 4 rivers are seeing record flooding: the Lumberton River, the Lower Little River, the News River, and the News River by Goldsboro, as well as the Tar River in Greenville, which is the one that is the most concerned right now. If that continues to rise past its historic crest, it could inundate the city. Flooding is still a major concern for a number of days ahead, and the North Carolina National Guard and the governor and the federal government are on full alert. Reinsurers are also likely to pick up losses via their carriers in the Bahamas that they've reinsured following the devastation caused to the islands by Matthew. Matthew came through the Bahamas as a Category 4 hurricane on Thursday. It caused considerable damage to the high-end resorts of Nassau and Freeport. RMS is saying that the wind-only claims for the Bahamas could reach as high as $5 billion. There are 2 big domestic insurers, Bahamas First Insurance Company of the Bahamas and Royal Star Insurance, are all set for large losses. There's one Lloyd's cover holder on the islands, J.S. Johnson and Company. Munich Re, Swiss Re, and various Lloyd's syndicates are cited as reinsurance providers to the Bahama carriers. The Bahama First president told Insurance Insider that the Matthew losses would likely produce the largest ever Bahama insurance industry loss from a single event. The View Palace Hotel on Nassau's Paradise Island sustained exterior extensive damage, with part of the facade ripped off, exposing the rooms. Matthew was the first major hurricane to strike Nassau since 1929. Samsung confirmed what everybody who has certainly taken an airplane flight recently knows, that the Galaxy Note 7 is a big problem. They have announced that they are permanently stopping production of the device after a botched attempt to recall it and replace the exploding batteries. The company said, for the benefit of consumer safety, we stopped sales and exchanges of the Note 7 and have decided to stop production. Haiti, which was struck massively by Hurricane Matthew with over 380 deaths, is now facing an impending catastrophe from cholera. Apparently, there are about 750,000 survivors of the storm who are at risk for cholera at the moment. Aid is trickling into the impoverished nation at a very slow rate. According to the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, who visited Haiti yesterday, some towns and villages have already been wiped off the map. A massive response is required. UN teams are working with local officials to assess needs. U.S. Marines are distributing food aid, but doctors say that they're still waiting for medicine about a week now after the hurricane has struck. Cholera symptoms take about 12 hours to 5 days to develop. Apparently the UN itself acknowledged its role in Haiti's cholera problem. It was accidentally introduced there by UN aid workers who dumped sewage into a river after the 2010 earthquake. The outbreak has since infected hundreds of thousands of people and killed more than 9,000, and what people are concerned about is a reemergence of this as a result of the destruction of Matthew. Multiple people have been injured in Sydney, Australia after a ferry collided with a pontoon at Sydney's Circular Quay Wharf earlier today. A Super Cat ferry came into contact with the far eastern pontoon at Circular Quay as it was berthing. Witnesses say that the ferry seemed to be traveling too fast and was coming into dock. There are reports that up to 18 people have suffered minor injuries. The explosion of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket is ongoing. It occurred on September 1st on a test run for the launch of the rocket. However, SpaceX says that the investigation is likely to end soon. According to the SpaceX president, Gwynne Shotwell, the investigation is nearing an explanation as to what happened. The company said that the cause would likely not be a vehicle or engineering design issue, but rather a business process flaw. She did not elaborate further as to what the issue might be. There have been a whole host of speculative reports that things ranging from sabotage to the rocket's helium system could have been the cause for this. But the earliest explanation that came out was a question as to why they were conducting a static test with a fully loaded rocket with fuel. Possibly that will be the business flaw that's identified, although we don't know. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.